Good morning, all y'all. What a great day. Mostly, and especially because we're here, which means we have breath and we have another opportunity at life, at doing this beautiful experience, at being in this beautiful experience. So, cup for the day, beast mode. It's actually a great cup for today, given what we're going to talk about today. Confidence. It's a great cup for today. We need to find that beast mode within us. I did that on purpose, you know. The cup and the topic, it was intentional. I have a saying, and it goes like this. Do it on purpose. Do what on purpose, coach? Everything. Do everything on purpose. Everything you do it on purpose. Do it because you're doing it to move towards whatever it is that you want. Towards a better you, towards achieving a specific something. I want to send out some extra love today to someone I care for dearly who is going through a lot. One of my teachers is navigating a pretty tremendous situation. So maybe you can hold them in your heart too as we go through our meditation today. And if you have anyone in your world who's going through a lot and feeling really challenged, it would be good to hold them dear in your heart and in your meditation today. So I'm really happy to be here, and I'm really excited to talk a bit about confidence. And the opposite of confidence, as somebody might acknowledge it, would be self-doubt. But I worked with my group on this week, the group that I coach, and I worked with them on processing some ways that we can really help to grow and develop our self-confidence, and some things that maybe happen in our life that keep us from it. Can you grab me my notebook? You got it. Awesome. Thank you. Yeah. I wrote down some notes because I wanted to make sure that I shared with you all. So, I have the best assistant in the whole world. It's always the person behind the curtain. So, confidence, I think, is something that we all struggle with. I don't care who you are, how good you are at whatever it is that you're great at, how long you've been doing what you've been doing. At some point or another, I think we all face some level of doubt, some level of fear, some level of insecurity. Myself included. Generally, very confident person. I'm super afraid of public. I'm clearly not. There are plenty of people who are, whether you're going into something new or something you've been doing a lot. And in truth, most of the time when we are heading into something new, we're going to feel and experience a little bit of self-doubt or a little bit of insecurity oftentimes, because we have less of a sense of the outcome. But another reason that people are experiencing self-doubt or a lack of confidence is perhaps because of our programming over so long, and maybe we feel like we're not good enough. And if we have a belief that we deeply doubt ourselves, then what's going to happen is we're going to be looking for, probably unconsciously, looking for ways to prove that we have a reason to doubt our abilities. And we're also going to attract other people who are going to prove us right, that we should doubt ourselves and that we're not worthy of having confidence. So it's important to understand that a large part of our behavior comes from our unconscious programming. And so when I give you content and tips and things to help you, you also have to know that a lot of times it's not just symptomatically that you've got to resolve an issue, but it's deep within your unconscious programming. But it's also really important to start somewhere and to start recognizing these patterns in ourselves. So, how to improve your self-confidence, or how to develop more self-confidence. A really important thing. I'm going to give you 5 tips on how to do this. There's tons of things you can do, but these are 5 that I think paying attention to them and really being mindful will help a lot. So, 1, state change. So, generally, when you notice that you're feeling a lack of confidence, meaning when you become aware of it, your physical state and your mental or emotional state is usually restricted. It's usually hunched over or hunched down. We're usually cowering a bit. You have to change your physical state if you want to change this mental state, or if you want it to stay. You can't stay small and have confidence. It doesn't work that way. So whether you physically get up, whether you go for a walk or a run, whether you move, whether you stretch, whether you open up your body, whatever it is that you need to do, you need to change your physical state. You can't stay like this and feel good. So you have to expand in some way, and you have to move. Really simple, but even just brief workout or something like this will change your physical state. Biologically, it's going to release chemicals and change your hormones. But on a separate note, it also helps to shift the way that you feel. But number 1, in order to be more confident, you have to change your state. You can't stay physically small and expect to have more confidence. Number 2, you have to find the lesson. In everything we do, in everything that we experience, there is something to be learned. In every person that we meet, there is something to be learned. On a separate note, and a great topic, what would it be like if we actually approached every person or received every person as if they had something to teach us, as if we had something to learn from them? Whole different experience in life. But coming back to number 2, in developing your confidence, you have to really seek out the lesson. You have to really pay attention to what there is here for you in this experience to learn. If you don't, what happens is you stay stuck inside of usually victimhood, usually feeling sorry for yourself or feeling bad about the way that this person is treating you. And instead, it's important to really begin looking. I teach a technique to a lot of my clients, the 360, and a lot of it has to do with taking the problem outside of yourself and walking around it. So you're literally dissociated from it and seeing it from alternative perspectives. Sometimes it really helps when you're trying to learn the lesson to look from alternative perspectives, maybe from another person's perspective. Not because you want to discount how you feel, but we need to see from another angle or perspective oftentimes to consider what there might be to learn, especially if we're stuck inside of our own frustration or whatever emotion it is that has us feeling small and restricted. So you have to really seek out what there is for you to learn. 3, who and what is my environment? You have to change your environment. If repeatedly in your life you are feeling small, or I don't want to say being made to feel small because nobody can make us feel anything, but if you have people in your life who are negative or your environment is really disempowering, you have to change it. If you're going to work every day and you are being belittled and not valued, if you are in a relationship where your partner is constantly speaking poorly of you or doing things in an attempt to make you feel less than, if you are deeply connected with your family and they're incredibly unsupportive and they're always saying harsh things, if you are in a home, whatever your scenario is, your environment and the people you are around are an incredibly important part of how you show up every single day. Is your environment conducive to you growing your confidence? And if it's not, you have to change it. You have to change who you are connecting with and what you are doing. And for some people, one of the reasons this doesn't change is because, it's a big commitment to change your environment, especially if it's where you live and it's not good, or if it's where you go to work and that's a big part of your life. But the truth is, you have to make a decision. Are you willing to sacrifice your belief in yourself and therefore essentially your ability to show up in life and do all of the things and be the way you want to be for some job or for some people, and you're going to throw it all away? You have to change your environment. You have to change the people you connect to and the places you go if it is not conducive to you having great confidence. You won't be able to change it. So you have to change your environment. Next thing is you have to vent or dump. I sometimes call it a brain dump when I'll tell people when your mind is going a million miles an hour or you're stressed out about something and we've got these loops looping, to dump it. Sometimes whether that's just writing it all down or vent it. Literally call someone up. We have something called the fuck it bucket, which I teach people to hold imaginatively in front of them when someone is spewing unwanted things at them, whether somebody is going off on them, whether somebody's really upset, or somebody's just venting. Hold the bucket, let it all go into the bucket, and set it down or dump it out elsewhere so that you don't internalize any of it. Well, you need to spew into this bucket. So whether that means that you write down whatever it is that you're thinking or you're frustrated about, whether it is that you burn it in a fire or maybe you vent it to a friend, you need to get it out of here and outside of yourself. It's going to decrease the intensity of the feeling that you have. Also, really important is if you don't get it out of here and this loop, it sinks down into your body. And this is where this is where we embody a lack of confidence because we're not getting it out and these loops are replaying. And so now the body starts to take on the state and this way of being. So you need to vent it or dump it. You need to get it out of your head. You need to at least make it less intense. The grip of this emotion, you need to loosen it. And it helps. Write it all out. Vent it or dump it. And lastly, a good question to ask yourself is, where is your power? When we are lacking self-confidence, when we are feeling small, when we are having doubts in ourselves, usually it's in association or connection to another person or a specific something, whether it's at work, whether it's inside of a relationship, whether it's with another person that we have, whatever it is, usually we have then taken our power. Meaning my own ability to dictate my emotions and how I feel and to dictate my behavior. And I've put it outside of myself somewhere. If over and over again someone is belittling me and I am allowing that to happen, I've literally just given my power away to that person. What I can promise you is that if you are sustaining an unwanted emotion over time, so generally this is what we would call a negative emotion. Understand that emotions are not negative inherently. They become negative, or we might likely label them negative when they are sustained. So it's okay to be angry or hurt or upset or frustrated or sad or to feel guilty. It's okay to feel all these things because they're great teachers, but to sustain them becomes problematic for us. And so if you are sustaining an unwanted emotion, I promise you that your power is not within you in the moment, or you are not aware of where it is within you. It is outside of you. You've given it away to somebody else to decide for you. So you need to identify where is your power and bring it back to you and decide for yourself how you would like to feel and what you would like to do to change the circumstance. There are many, many things, like I said, much deeper than just these points of reference to really focus on growing your confidence. But if you pay attention to these, you will notice that likely what creates these scenarios and situations is your unconscious programming. And this is a good start to really begin to pay attention to how to increase your confidence in scenarios and situations. And maybe even just by paying attention to these things, you will start to notice in life how frequently you are becoming small amidst other people or situations or circumstances. So hopefully that's really helpful to you. If you are watching this, please don't hesitate to like and share it with others. That is, of course, always very helpful to me. Or on my YouTube channel, please don't hesitate to like and subscribe and share it. My goal is to help everyone improve in every way possible in their life so that people truly feel a very high sense of quality in their life, so that people begin to feel empowered to heal and to be the best version of themselves. So let's dive into our meditation. Hopefully that was incredibly helpful for you. And let's really focus inward today on developing and growing a sense of confidence. Someone might even call it to remove their self-doubt, or someone else also might say, how do I expand or open more? How do I believe in myself more? Whichever it is for you, whatever feels best for you, that's our goal. That's our aim today, to take some time to really remove and allow everything else to fade away, to really begin to grow and develop our sense of belief and gratitude and love for ourselves. I think one thing that will help is you can imagine maybe someone who you seek confidence in. First off, you can know two things. One, maybe they're a good person to model in some ways. I would love to have confidence like that person. But also, I want to tell you something else. I promise you that at some point, that person who you see with so much confidence also feels insecure or fearful or doubtful at some point in their life, or at different points in their life. We all experience this. So the more we work on this, the more we can improve our confidence. So as always, I'm going to be open-handed and open-hearted, sitting up nice and tall. I hope you are too. It allows the energy to flow through your body, through all of your chakras, all of your energy systems, and it allows you to really embody and to physically practice openness versus being hunched over or being restrictive. And so we're going to focus first on our breath. As always, we do this because I really want us to help change the chemistry in our body. I want you to help reduce the stress hormone. I want you to help improve your ability to focus inward, and to help the body consume more oxygen, and to focus on expansion of your breath. Oftentimes we're not taking big deep breaths, so we get the chance to practice that. Expand first in your belly, then in your chest, and then exhale out. And I like to encourage people to do at least 6 seconds in and 6 seconds out, taking big, full, deep breaths. And lastly, the benefit is it really helps you to become present. If you are focusing, truly focusing on your breath, you can't be anywhere else. You can't be worried about the past. You can't be concerned about the future. You've got to be here And that is a part of life we all must get better at, being present. Let us begin. Breathe deeply in, expanding in the belly, the diaphragm expanding in the chest, and exhale, letting it go. With each and every single breath, every second of every breath, allow the tunnel to get a little smaller. Allow everything around you to begin to dissipate, to fade away, to get a little bit smaller. Allow your focus to become present. Good. Breathe deeply in, inviting in all of this oxygen into the body, filling it up, opening and expanding. Exhale, letting it go. Just choosing to be present. If anything comes up in your mind, gently dismiss it. And you can always count with your breath the seconds in and the seconds out to become present and just focused on your breath. Breathe deeply in. And exhale, letting go. Very good. Focusing on the here and now, allowing your body to settle down. Give your body permission to produce more of these peaceful hormones and reduce the stress in your body. Just becoming present, allowing your body to be connected to your mind, feeling good. Breathe deeply in. And exhale, letting go. Just be present. Very good. One more. Big deep breath in, allowing ourselves to just be fully and completely present for this. Take care of anything we need to later. Let's just be here now. Good. So as always, let us do our meditation on a bed of gratitude. Create that bed of gratitude beneath you and within you. Every blade of grass beneath you, every area you are sitting on. And within you, filling you up like a cup of water, all the way from your base to your head. Just really filling up with gratitude. Let us focus our attention today always in a space of gratitude, moving up to your third eye or the top of your head. Let's open it up and be receptive today of all that there is to become aware of within ourselves and the insights that come, which allow us to grow and expand. And then let's begin with our body scan. Really just becoming aware of what the body is communicating. Beginning with the top of your head. Is there any tension in your head? Are you carrying any stress or frustration? Are you noticing any pain anywhere in your head, any tension in your jaw? Breathe deeply in, just becoming aware. We don't have to resolve anything. Let us just learn from this. Moving down the body into the neck and the shoulders. Are you feeling tension here? Are our shoulders pinned forward, rounded and down, communicating to us something about the way that we feel about ourselves or the way we show up in this world? Are we carrying upon our shoulders any burden or concern that is not ours to carry? As we move down the body into the arms, as the arms relax at the side, notice, are your arms fully relaxed or are they tense? Are they trying to hold or squeeze something in life? Are your arms receivers and givers of love, or are they carriers of tension and stress and fear? Moving down the body into the chest as you take a big, deep breath in, expanding in your belly and then your chest. Notice as you expand, does your chest and your heart and your lungs open freely and fill? Is there restriction? Is there tightness? Is there fear? Do you notice that it is difficult to breathe deeply and that you often take shallow breaths? Are there concerns or worries that you keep that are showing up in your physical body? As we move down the body into the core, into the abdomen and the low back, as we breathe deeply in, just noticing, is there anything stuck in the body? Is there any pain? What is it communicating? Just become aware as we move down into the hips, pelvic floor, the base chakra, the root chakra. Do we notice tension? Do we notice resistance to intimacy? Do we have any pain? Are we holding on to any pain? How is it showing up in our physical body? Let's become aware, just to learn. Moving down the body into the legs and knees, the feet. How does your body feel? What is it communicating? Do we have any pain? Do we have any soreness that is perpetuating? It is good to tune into what the physical body communicates. The physical body is simply following the mind. So when we do body scans, it is simply to become more aware of what is showing up physically and symptomatically in our world, that our spiritual, mental, and emotional bodies are asking for us to pay attention to. Breathe deeply in. Our bodies are quite miraculous and capable of healing themselves if we take good care of them. Today, as we dive deeply within ourselves, to connect to Source, to connect to our higher selves, and really tune in to how we can develop and grow our confidence and our belief in our abilities, our belief in our potential. Are we nurturing our potential or are we squandering it? Can you notice in life an area of life, whether it's in your family, whether it's in your finances, whether it's in your relationship with your friends, with your health, at work, with your family, wherever it is in your life where you feel small, where you lack confidence. Just become aware for a moment in an area where you don't feel confident in life. How is your lack of belief in yourself showing up in your life? First, acknowledge the symptoms of having a lack of confidence. Is it conflict with others? We're having conflict with others and we make ourselves small, or we cower, or we don't use our voice, or we don't speak up. We don't express how we feel. Is it showing up in our physical body that we don't believe in ourselves, so we treat ourselves poorly? Just seek where symptomatically it is showing up. Do I have many friends that don't respect me, that don't value my opinion? Do I have unhealthy connections within my family? Do I feel disrespected? Do I feel unheard or unseen in areas of my life? And how am I showing up in these areas? How am I playing a role in co-creating this experience of staying small? Am I choosing to be a victim? Am I choosing to point the fingers at others around me for the reasons of not feeling good about myself? Am I holding shame about myself as a result of my experiences with others? How can I take responsibility for creating more confidence within myself? How can I take back my power in order to change my reality? Where in this experience can I make a decision that gives me permission to be more confident? Are there decisions that I'm not making that I know would give me the room and the space and the ability to be more confident? And if it is difficult to make those decisions that I know, ask yourself, how is it serving me to stay small? What part of my identity is clinging to being small in life? How am I using this feeling of less than and not good enough to perpetuate what is unhealthy in my life? Is being small deeply a part of my identity? Is being a victim in life a part of my identity? Is blaming others a part of my identity? And what happens when it's not anyone else's fault that I am right where I am? What does it mean? What does it mean to accept that I am the director of my movie? What does it mean to accept that I am writing everything as it is in my life? What comes up? Is it scary to think about changing the people around you? Is it scary to think about changing your environment? do I need to spend some time consciously focusing on, setting myself up for success? Many layers deep, oftentimes, when we want to create change. Many layers deep must we go. Do not stop when fear arises. Do not stop at discomfort or uncomfortable emotion. Get curious. Go deeper. Go deeper. How does it serve me to stay small? Go deeper. What does it mean if I know my worth? What does it mean if I choose to believe in myself deeply? What is that going to change in my life? Do I need to remove people from my life? Do I need to change my environment in my life? Do I need to change my identity? What would it feel like to truly hold my power, to keep my power, to not give it away to anyone else, to not give anyone else permission to dictate how I feel? What would it mean to hold my power? If I were holding my power and I were fully in charge of myself, what are the things that I would say in kindness that would exude confidence? If I were holding my power, what are the things that I would change? How would I step in kindness and confidence? What are the kinds of people I would call in and choose to be around? What would change if I were holding all my power and not giving anyone else permission to negatively impact me? And lastly, how would I feel totally and completely confident? How would I feel believing fully in myself and my abilities in any circumstance, under any situation, with any person? Envision yourself in a moment, whether it's with a person or a place that you're at, where you used to feel insecure or afraid, and envision yourself now upright and tall, shoulders back, head up. Envision yourself having learned from every experience prior, now knowing your abilities and your capabilities, not needing the approval of the people around you or anyone else, rather knowing your worth within yourself. Envision yourself feeling strong. Envision yourself knowing how you feel and being able to communicate that. Envision yourself even hearing the words and the opinions of others and listening with intent and care for how others think and feel, without wavering yourself, knowing what it feels like to be sure of how you feel and what you think, to be honest and to speak truthfully and kindly about your stance, about what you think and feel, and envision yourself feeling strong, brave, and courageous. What does it feel like in your body to feel this way? What does it feel like to know that your power is yours and you get to decide? What does it feel like right now to be that person, to be confident, to be big, to not shrink? What does it feel like to be sure, to be able to speak what you need to say with kindness and with authority? What does it feel like to be big? What does it feel like to take up space? What does it feel like to be brave? What does it feel like to not worry about the outcome or the opinions of others? What does it feel like to know that you are showing up and doing your best and that is good enough? Feel all of this from your head to your toe and every fiber of your being. What does it feel like to be strong? What does it feel like to be confident? What does it feel like to be a light? What does it feel like to be brave? What does it feel like to be courageous? What does it feel like to take up space? What does it feel like to be okay knowing that you don't know everything? Knowing that you don't have all the answers and that is okay. To be humble. To be wise. What does it feel like to have confidence and belief in yourself? Get to know this feeling. Get familiar with this feeling. What does it feel like to be confident and to embrace this amidst the situations and circumstances and people and places where once you used to be small and now you are big? You are confident, you are bold, you are strong, you are courageous, you are brave, and you know your worth. Breathe deeply in. Fill your body up with oxygen. Feel the state of being you're in self-belief. Exhale, letting it all go. Breathe deeply in. Feeling what it feels like to feel good and strong and bold and confident. And exhale, letting it all go. Good. Breathe deeply in. Feeling what it feels like to feel full and bright. What it feels good to be in your skin. Breathe deeply in and let it all go. Breathe deeply in. Just be present with the feeling you have. Be present to your breath. And let it all go. And one more big deep breath in. Breathe deeply in. And exhale, letting it all go. How are you feeling after that one? You feeling big? Are you taking up space? Do you notice that you feel a little different? I feel good. Do you notice that you feel a little bit taller, a little bit brighter? Do you notice that it was challenging to hold that feeling and that emotion or that state of being? For me, it's a regular practice in life. Confidence is not built in one action. It is built in many actions, many decisions over time. And it begins with our awareness. This is the purpose of meditation, is simply to practice a heightened state of awareness. If we do that, we get much better, we become better at recognizing the opportunities in life where we can choose something differently. We start recognizing the areas for growth in life instead of the looping and repeating thoughts and patterns that maybe are not getting us the outcomes we really like. Outcomes are symptomatic. The work is really in the process, and I hope that makes sense. Our outcomes that we're getting are really not what life is all about so much as they are teachers to help us to understand how we're doing in our process. The real work is the process. The joy is in the process. And if we can learn to find joy in the process, we will learn that that is how we create the kinds of outcomes we want. Not by fixating so much on the outcome, actually by focusing on adjusting our process. Such a neat thing. But would love to hear any shares about, in the comments, any shares about your process and maybe areas in your life where you were showing up small, lacking confidence. And maybe what this will do to help you show up a little bigger, a little brighter, and to really hold your power within yourself. If you noticed, we had an environment change. We had some noisy folks outside, so we came inside because it is okay to be adaptable and flexible. And so here we are. So I hope today you have an amazing day. I hope today you stride a little bigger. I hope today you walk a little taller. And I hope today you hold on to your power and you choose not to give it away to anyone else. And the way that we do that, as always, today and every day, is to know your worth.